Yo, what is good, YouTube? Back with another video. Unfortunately, more bad news, bro. More bad news. Um, we're down what, like two bands. Um, it's unfortunate. I know exactly why I lost. We're gonna get into that, obviously, and it's just unfortunate. I'm not really upset about it, honestly. I I'm just concerned, like, bro, like, when is it gonna turn around? Like, damn. But anyways, let's get into it. So the analysis pre-market was pretty simple. Like today was the draws were obvious. It's just the entry again is just not entering correctly, just like last week. Um, but you'll see. So pre-market, we already inverted this 4 hour overnight. So that already telling me like we're probably gonna hit all of these lows that are stacked here. So we can get rid of that. And then when we were coming into the day, we were where are we at? Like around here. So we had this hourly gap. It's pretty simple condition. If we were gonna displace through this, then oh, this is the news high, but we didn't really get opportunity against that. If we're gonna displace through this, we can, target that high and this buy side up here. And if we were gonna respect it, which we did, we're gonna take out all of this sell side down here, all of that. And that is what we did. So hold up. We open up, strong candle down, we come back into the hourly. We fail to get any like continuation back up, and we dump back down, which is honestly I would have rather this had happened. Like I wanted this to happen because there was just more targets lower, and it did end up happening. So so here I wanted to enter. The only issue is that this retracement was just taking forever. And in the time of it retracing and it just taking too long, we formed a 5 minute. And we never where was I at? We never hit it. So we formed this 5 minute, we didn't retrace to it, and then we had the confirmation. So it's just too risky for me to enter here when knowing that we could possibly retrace, like we'll do this and then actually retrace and then go down, which I was trying to avoid. Which that's one of my rules. Like I don't if a 5 minute forms, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna wait for that to get tagged in. So this is unfortunate that we never got that retracement. But yeah, so either way, it would have been break even because when we hit this internal, it wicked up and then went down. It was very weird delivery. But so we take out these two lows, and this is where I entered at. So we left this final low down here, this one, and so that was like really the last target. And let me explain why this entry didn't work. Is pretty simple. Like it's just unfortunate. In the moment, I was not thinking about this. I feel like I get so zoned in to entering that I forget to do one final like like recap of what is going on, like getting the full picture one more time before I make the decision to enter. So as you see, look, we retrace like textbook, right? We retrace into this 5 minute gap, and then we have a nice candle out of it. Let me move this to just a nice candle out of it. The issue with this is that, for one, we already dumped this whole move. We dumped 261 points. And look at it on the hourly. Look at this candle. We dumped so many points. Took out several draws without a true proper retrace. So when we displace like that and we take out a bunch of draws, if we're gonna have that big of a move, we're gonna expect that we need a big move to rebalance and then to continue that momentum. I was not thinking about that in the moment, which is on me. Is a complete mistake. I should have been thinking about that, because yes, we went into this 5 minute, but look at what there was. Look at what we formed in that massive dump. We had a giant 15 that we ended up retracing to, and then we went to my draw. And this is like a common theme in like all of my losses. Like, the draw on liquidity will be correct. As you see, look, we go into the 15 and then we go down to the draw on liquidity. So, and that's a common theme, like I said. So I was correct on the draw. It's just my issue seems to be, I've been trying to pinpoint it these past couple of days. It's understanding when to enter, yes, but like understanding when it's confirmed to enter. Like what is really confirming that we are going to go to that draw, like in like when the entry is correct to take, if that makes sense. Like the timing of it and aligning everything together. That seems to be the problem. So what I did was that I went into my journal and I looked at all the losses that I had for like the past, like, I don't know, past couple months. And I wrote it all down on notes on my phone. So I'm going to read that out to you guys in a second. But yeah, I mean, so got cooked here. And now, as you can see, like, I don't really have much drawdown to play with on these 3 accounts. And it's a shame. Like, I passed these 3 and unfortunately it's not going how I wanted it to go. And basically the next trade has to be like really good. Like, I can't keep making these mistakes. It's unfortunate. But yeah, so then we go and hit the 15 and look at it, like we come in, rejection, immediately just start dumping. Like, it couldn't have been more clear. Only thing is the entry here. I don't know what I would do. Because in this leg, like, there's not really the best candle. If I were to go on micros, though, I could probably off the 15 enter here. I would have to use micros though because it's a pretty big stop, and then go 1-to-1. And then yeah, this gap would protect you when it forms, so you could just go break even. Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate, but yeah. And then after that, I mean, we already took out the draw, so it's not important. So yeah, unfortunate. Another loss. The thing is, though, I'm not upset about it like how I was last week. Like last week, I was pretty upset, but I'm pretty chill about it because I just care that I like figured out what the issue was, which was, we were overextended. We needed a proper retrace. Um, but one thing I want to share too is that loss from last week. It should have been break even because the mistake I made was that when I trailed my stop, I should have never did that. The trade was based off like the 5 minute, because we tapped into like a 15-minute gap, and then we had a 5 minute. The 5 minute hadn't fully closed, but or I think it did, and so I was playing based off that. And so in that case, I should have never trailed my stop. I should have had a wide stop because if you're gonna enter on a higher time frame, then the 1 minute you're gonna have to have like a wider stop to make, like, to align with that time frame. So if I would have kept my stop where I originally had it, that would have been break even. But let's not dwell on the past. I just bring that up to say that it's good that I recognize that, so that I just know not to make that mistake again, and like how I know that I could have prevented that, but unfortunately, obviously, I'm not a time traveler. I can't go back. And that trade from last Tuesday, man. See, I'm just coping now. If I could go back, knowing what I know now, I would have definitely taken it because even though it didn't displace through the highs, and then we like trace and then had a good candle, the draw was obvious and it was pretty clear. But you losses are not failures, they're just lessons. That's it. You either learn, you win, or you learn. And you also learn when you win. So shoot, that's how you gotta approach it. But yeah, so that's unfortunate. I've got like one more trade left on these three. It would suck because these bad boys, they're not cheap. Right? They're not cheap. Uh these evals. So yeah. But hopefully I can dig these out. So I have the list right here of 6 things that I had taken note of over the losses. Them being, so, unfilled 5 minute gaps to retrace to. Basically that means that if the draw on liquidity is confirmed and we're waiting to get the proper retrace point, if there's a 5 minute that formed, you have to wait for that. Like here, like in this instance, like this is what I was discussing. Yes, unfortunately, you would have missed out, which I did. It's just been too many instances where um the we'll have the candle and it looks like we're gonna go, and then we retrace because we should have waited for the retrace to that unfilled 5 minute. And I guarantee you, like, if I would have entered here and broken that rule, the reality would have shifted and somehow we retrace. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying. Um, Number two, when price starts to slow down after we hit like a POI, that's a sign that you need to be very careful and like probably like the market's gonna start slowing down. You should probably not look to be risking anything after that. Number three, retracements that are too strong. So like if we retrace, um, I don't know. Let me go here. Pretend this is the draw. So we come down, then we retrace, and say there's a gap, and we just retrace. Say there's two gaps, and we just close so strong above one, and like so high into the other one, and then come down. Like it's usually not. That's not a good sign. When you're looking to enter, because it could be a sign of a reversal, or you want to retrace deeper and then come down. It sucks when that happens because it just ruins the whole thing, and then you end up not getting it set up, and then it does hit the draw, but then you can't enter because the entries are, you know, it doesn't give you an entry. So this is the one thing we talked about that I was saying about last week, is you have to adjust your stop loss to the time frame that you're entering on. So if you're gonna enter on a 5 minute or like trade based off the 5 or 15, the stop has to be adjusted to that time frame. It has to be like, you have to give it a little more room to move in case, you know, retrace happens. And then this mistake is what happened today. Overextended price means that we need that a large retracement is needed in return for that, you know, large displacement. As you can see, large move down, large displacement, and then we come and make them move down, you know. And then the last thing is just more like a heads up than like a, a loss avoiding thing, is just not going break even so early. Like if we have to enter pretty high in the leg, I mean even that is sus in itself, but if we have to enter too high in the leg, or the the internal leg is just too close for whatever reason, like I don't know, instead of going break even early, just give the trade a bit of room to run, because that's gonna avoid you getting break even and then it hitting and then you're pissed because you missed out. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry for the lack of videos in like the last week. This is literally the first trade I've gotten since then, so that's why. But maybe I don't know. I look, you want to start throwing in some like vids where I just like yap on the camera. Um, but yeah, boys and girls. It's unfortunate, but um, again, it's just another lesson. Shoot, you know, I'm prepared for any scenario that happens on the charts. It's okay. Um, I'm not too upset. But yeah. So hope y'all enjoyed. Jesus King, God bless. Hope y'all have a good day. God bless.